Tonight, we are on the eve of probably, I don't even think it's probably, definitely one of the biggest, most important, super duper elections, not just in American history, probably in world history. So much on the line. You have war in Ukraine and Russia and China building up militaries, war in the Middle East. Everybody's watching to see who wins on Election Day, and we're going to be watching it right here. But tonight, we are talking about it right after this.
Squeeze, struggling with the cost of everything from gas.
How do you feel about the economy? Raising interest rates.
Iran's most intense strike ever against Israel.
Get up, puppet.
What, Dave? What?
We got work to do.
Puppet Carlson reporting for duty. I'm driving, Dave.
You're not driving.
I am driving, Dave. I'm in the Cybertruck.
Come on.
I'm going to regret this.
All right, I don't know about this. Are you sure you want to try to drive?
Dave, Elon made this sucker to drive itself.
All right.
Let's boogie! I got this, man.
Can you even reach the pedals?
Sit down and cool it.
Puppet, pick a lane.
Chill out, Dave. I'm a non-binary driver.
Let's get to work.
Wait up, Dave. I'm the star of this show.
Welcome back to another exciting David Pollack show. It is Election Eve. That's right. Everybody, well, at least everybody watching this show, everybody is anxious and eager to see what is going to happen tomorrow. We'll even know who the president of the United States is tomorrow. We call it Election Day. It seems like it's been election year. I think people started voting in September. They're continuing to vote. Tomorrow, I guess, is the last day for voting. I guess we're calling that Election Day now. But everybody in the United States, and I think certainly around the world, is watching very, very closely to see, I guess, hopefully, who wins tomorrow. Because if we look at 2020, we have no idea what happened on election night. I think I have to go back to 2000 was the only election that I can think of in my lifetime where we didn't know who the president was, at least at some point on election night. And then there's that whole hanging Chad deal in Florida, but we pretty much knew who was going to win. There was just some litigation. 2020 was just an odd year. We call it COVID. You call it mail-in ballots. I don't know. People just decided they were going to stop counting votes on election night in Georgia and Michigan and Pennsylvania and North Carolina and every other battleground state. And then they started counting the votes again. And when they did, of course, all the votes were for Joe Biden. Trump was winning, and then he was losing. We all know what happened after that. Legal challenges, the Arizona call, the Georgia call, and then January 6th. A lot of people are upset. They wanted to stop the steal, and it was stolen. But Trump didn't go away. He didn't go away after two impeachments. He didn't go away after 4 indictments. He didn't go away after civil lawsuits trying to bankrupt him. He didn't go away after the Mueller investigation. He didn't go away after the first assassination attempt. He didn't go away after the second assassination attempt. Trump is not going away. And you know who else isn't going away? MAGA isn't going away. Instead, it's just growing. MAGA now has allies with RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, Jordan Peterson, actors and musicians, and all kinds of people who still are probably registered Democrats in some instances. Other instances, they change parties. But Trump has now become the unity ticket, the entire country unifying behind Trump. Why? The country is sick and tired of being manipulated, of being divided, of being attacked by the radical left that forced vaccines on you and your families, the radical left that put masks on your children for years on end, the radical left who destroyed your communities, put riots in your neighborhoods, inspired people to hate. Kamala Harris comparing Trump to Hitler, Hillary Clinton calling Trump supporters Nazis, Barack Obama essentially calling Trump supporters white supremacists, Joe Biden calling Trump supporters garbage, trash. America is sick of being divided by the radical left, and they are standing up and saying no more. This isn't just MAGA. This isn't just Republicans. This is everybody in the United States. And tomorrow, with a resounding voice, I'm predicting it now, it won't even be close. The American people are pushing back against the radicals taking over this country, and Donald Trump will be the 47th president of the United States. He will be back in the White House, and when he is there, he's going to clean up the justice system. He's going to clean up our health care. He's going to clean up our food. He's going to clean up America. He's going to make America great again. He's making our allies pay their fair share at NATO. He's going to bring manufacturing back to the United States. We're going to be drilling in the United States. Once again, we're going to refill our strategic oil reserves. Inflation will go down. Your grocery shelves will be full. Your pocketbooks will be full. All of the pain and suffering brought upon you by this radical left, by Joe Biden, by Kamala Harris, by Barack Obama in the shadows, by the Clintons in the shadows, they're gone. Tomorrow night, they're gone. If you voted already, good for you. Make sure that anybody who hasn't voted, drag them to the polls. Everybody vote, stay in line, report any funny business, anything that's going on. This is America's chance to save this republic. This is America's last chance to save this republic. Should Democrats win, take a larger majority in the Senate, take the House, take the White House, they'll stack the courts. They've already promised they would do it. They'll change our election laws. They'll nationalize our election laws, making voter fraud the standard across all of these 50 states. They'll legalize hundreds or tens of millions of illegals. They'll open up our borders. They'll put them in red cities to vote. There will be no more fair and free elections in this country if the Democrats do what they're trying to do. And it is your chance to save this republic. When Donald Trump took a bullet to the side of his head and stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. This is the fight he was talking about. Don't give up. Show up at the polls. Bring your friends. Bring your neighbors. Save your cats. This is your chance to save America. I want to show you just how divided America is thanks to the radical left. Remember, they tried this going back, well, whether it was Black Lives Matters, whether it was women's rights, abortion rights, trans rights. It's always about dividing everybody any way they can, because divided we fall. And once we are divided, they will seize the power they are so desperate to take, destroying the legacies of our founding fathers, ripping down the statues so you don't know better, changing history so they can destroy the Constitution, so you have no right to bear arms and no free speech. That is what's on the ballot. It's not abortion. Your rights that came from God is on the ballot, and this is your last chance to vote. Check this out. This was Jack Posobiec in Pennsylvania, and they were walking by, I think it was a polling in Allentown. They're walking by a polling station. This is how divided America is thanks to the radical left.
Santa Claus, I pray for you. God bless you. We're blessing the Kamala supporters right now. Tim Walz is a rapist. Roll Tide, roll.
Roll Tide, roll Tide.
Roll Tide, roll. God bless you, roll Tide. God bless you, roll Tide.
Give me time, Mr. Bandy.
Ain't no Kamala supporters have to come from.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
We're not going back, chants half the line. Yes, you are, chants Jack and his friends. Now, I don't think we're going back. I think we're going forward. We're not going back to the last 3 years of the Joe Biden-Kamala Harris administration, an administration that she's tried desperately to pretend she had nothing to do with. We're not going back to that. We're certainly not going back to 2016, when Donald Trump legitimately wins an election, shocks the establishment, and immediately after he's accused of being assisted by Russians, and his closest advisors go to jail, Bannon just being released. We're not going back to impeachments and resistance and lawsuits or attempted assassinations. We're not going back to the hate and the division brought to us by the radical left. We're moving forward. We're moving forward towards the future that Donald Trump promised to deliver in 2016 and tried his best to give us. We're going forward to a time when America was great. We're going forward and making America great again and making it better than it's ever been before. We're going to crush communism. We're going to crush the radical left. We're going to unify this country. We are not going back. And that is what happens tomorrow. I'm going to take a quick break kind of early because, as you noticed, my patriotic plush pal isn't here. So I'm delivering this killer monologue to you. So I'm going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're bringing in our all-star panel because we got a lot to talk about tonight, and I got a great panel for you. So don't go anywhere. David Pollack Show will be right back.
It's never been more important to secure your hard-earned wealth for you and your family's future. FinSec Life works to offer industry-leading customer service to help successful individuals and businesses protect their wealth. Whether it's a business succession plan, estate liquidity, or a variety of life and long-term care policies, FinSec Life can help deliver peace of mind, knowing that if something happens, you or your company is taken care of. Visit finseclife.com. That's FINSEC life.com. Securities offered through Valmark Security Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Valmark Advisors Inc., an SEC-registered investment advisor. FinSec Life is a separate entity from Valmark Securities Inc. and Valmark Advisors Inc.
In today's fast-paced world, effective communication is the backbone of successful businesses. Are outdated systems and high costs slowing you down? Switch to Public Telephone Company for cutting-edge voice-over IP solutions. Enjoy seamless connectivity, unparalleled reliability, and significant cost savings. Tailor-made voice-over IP solutions designed for your business needs. Join countless businesses in transforming your communication with Public Telephone Company. Public Telephone Company. Revolutionize the way you connect.
Welcome back. If you like what you hear, I have the earpieces in so I can hear what you hear. If you like what you hear, this kind of heavy metal rock and roll, you got to thank my good friend, Patriot Rob. Patriot Rob has had some challenges over on X. Come on, free speech platform. But I see him over here in the chat, and got to thank him for the fantastic opening music. This is Rob. He did all of this, by the way. All the guitars, all the drums, everything. He mixed it, gave it to us. We can't thank Rob enough for this awesome show music. And I also want to say hello to some of our loyal fans over there, Jim Bob and Sammy, and even Jared, as much of a pain in the butt as he is on Spaces. It's good to see everybody over there. Guys, tomorrow's a big day. You heard me say it, but well, you don't want to hear from me anymore. Let's hear from our all-star panel instead. I'm bringing them in the order in which I see them, so nobody judge me one way or the other. First, I will bring in the Patriot Barbie herself, Miss Lindsey Graham. Welcome to the panel.
Thank you, David.
I'm also going to bring in the defender of the Republic, IT. Welcome back to the Dave Pollock Show panel. And of course, now this is going to be our special guest panelist tonight, and I'm going to tell you why here in just a second. Miss Aly Legge, welcome. I'm outnumbered tonight by these women. But before we go any further, Aly had made sure that we all know this, by the way. Everybody had to know that today was a very special day. Today is Aly's birthday.
Happy birthday, Aly! Oh my gosh,
I got it at the Tucker tour. I could not let it sit on the shelf. I had to buy it. I said, Tucker, you're my favorite person. I need this shirt. He gave me the shirt. So
I love it. Oh my word, I love it.
Well,
What an awesome panel, by the way.
I know, right?
I'm outnumbered here. I don't have
Did
Puppet.
yourself.
Instead, I'm going to do this for Puppet and be like, hey, Dave, look at all these girls on the panel, Dave.
Dave, you got 3 women on the panel. I don't think Puppet's getting a word in edgewise. In fact, we don't even need you if you want to go. Like, we got that.
Check this. But here, check this out. Bye.
All right. Hey, ladies. I love it. Over of the David Pollock Show, you guys.
Yeah. Well, here.
Tonight, we have the lovely Lindsey Graham, known as
I love Lindsey, by the way. I've followed you for a very long time.
Oh, thank you.
I've met her in person. She's amazing, just as amazing as you see her on screen and everywhere else and on social. She's a full-blown, like, just diva. I love her so much.
Oh, thank you, girl.
She's like my soul sister. My Jersey girl. I love it.
When you guys are done complimenting each other,
we're never done complimenting each other.
I've prepared something special just for you, Aly.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to dear one. Happy birthday to you. From good friends and true. From old friends and new. May good luck go with you. And happiness too.
I found the longest happy
Thank
birthday song on the
Thank you.
internet.
We need to have Sean Farash say happy birthday to me as president.
Yes.
Oh, yes, please.
I'm sure I can make that happen for you. I'll have to reach out to him and we'll see. All right,
And
all-star
hi,
panel.
Patriot Rob. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
By the way, Dave, can I just tell you, your show is my favorite and your audience is amazing. Every time I come on this show, I'm like so excited. Like, I love Dave's audience. They're amazing.
I love this pen. This
grateful
is
to
listen, on the eve of something that is so important and as nervous as all of us are, but I feel pretty confident. I love how positive everybody is today. I'm going to have an all-girl panel from now on always. I think the audience likes it better, first of all. And second of all, it's just, I love the vibe in here without Puppet's negative energy, his angry puppet self, you know?
Yep. It's like he's got something up his butt, all the time.
Always something up that man's. No, I'm just kidding. I love Puppet to death, and I miss him tonight. He's off doing important puppet things. He has to get his head restuffed with My Pillow. So you know how the My Pillow patented fill? It does best if you throw it in the dryer. What I love about the My Pillow is you can wash it, sanitize it, and throw it in the dryer, and that patented fill fluffs right up. And Puppet, that's what we have to do with Puppet every once in a while. We have to sanitize him because he's disgusting. And then you throw him in the dryer, and then that patent fill fluffs up. And if you want to know the comfort of Puppet Carlson and a My Pillow, you can go to mypillow.com, use promo code Pollock, and save up to 80% site-wide. But anyway, enough about Puppet Carlson. We miss him tonight. Let's talk about what everybody wants to hear. The election is tomorrow. Now, you saw my opening rant. I don't think we're going back to the corruption of the left. I think America is sick of it. Before I go to my videos, as I always have, I want to go around the panel. And since it's your birthday, Aly, I'll start with you. What are your predictions for tomorrow? What do you think?
I think it's not even going to be close. Seriously. I really don't. I think what people have not taken into account are the amounts of people that have moved from blue states and blue counties to red states and red counties. And they are definitely voting with their feet. Every single time I've driven by a polling place, anywhere I've been throughout the last couple of months, it has been packed. Like the lines are hours long. So I am just really excited because I'm seeing nothing but MAGA shirts, nothing but fight shirts, nothing but Make America Great shirts. So I don't want to say red wave because we did that in 22 and the red wave was like only school board. So, but I think it's going to be just an amazing day tomorrow. So
I'll go up to you, Lindsay.
All right. Hey, I messed with my camera while we were singing happy birthday. Is it all good?
No, you're good.
You look great.
Okay, good. I want to make sure you can see my MAGA hat.
I see your
love it.
MAGA
You don't
hat.
want to lose that.
And we all
We got
agree
like two
with
different ones. We got this one. You know,
Defender, where's
veterans.
your MAGA hat? I know you
I
got that
know, I
awesome
gotta go
hair.
get it. I can go
You got
grab
that
it.
awesome hair.
I got my
Don't you
Barbie.
hate that? When you're
Barbie
a
pink.
girl getting on a podcast, you have options. You're like, do I keep it in the top knot? Do I ponytail? Do I try to look glam, or do I throw a hat on? And then some way or another, you always regret the choice that you make. You're like, I needed the hat, darn it.
Oh, look at that.
There you
Somehow.
go. Yay.
I love it. You're lucky out there.
Weird.
I don't have anybody to hand me mine. So.
Where's Puppet?
Puppet, I don't know what Puppet didn't hand me anything.
Dang him. Well, I love what Aly's saying. I want to remain positive. You know, I have to be honest. In 2020 when, you know, they stole it, I don't know if we're allowed to say that. It was like,
Yes,
oh,
you're
that
allowed
sucks,
to say
man.
it. Say it.
It sucks. I mean, they stole it. And I was at Stop the Steal. I was at January 6th and I had the FBI visit me and all that crap. And it just sucks to think like we could try to stand up for ourselves, but they'll do what they're doing to Trump. They'll bring the law to your door and persecute you for something that is completely legitimately legal in America, which is your First Amendment rights. And you know, I will say this, this is, if you know me, you know that I'm going to go here. I'm always going to go here. But I don't have a lot of anxiety. I know that, you know, it's going to really suck for America if Cackles McGee gets, quote, elected. I don't think she will. But you got to remember that God is on the throne. Like we live in a temporary world. And if Kamala runs the temporary world, whatever, we know who our true king is. And that gives me a lot of peace. Right. But in accordance with what Aly said, I really believe that the crap the left has pulled the last 4 years has made a lot of people, and you already listed them, Tulsi Gabbard, Elon Musk, RFK. It's pushed so many people our way because they tried to call us radical while cutting kids' body parts off. Like you can't, people see what you say and they see what you do. And they went so crazy the last 4 years because they got in, they couldn't help themselves. They're so dumb. They pushed everybody toward MAGA. And I feel like even the people that were like hardcore Joe Biden 4 years ago is probably like, I don't know that I can back your side anymore. You guys are too crazy. So I have hope that between the extremists like ourselves and the kind of extremists and then the basic Trump supporters, there's also the people that were like, I just can't do this with you guys anymore. You had me at kids cutting off their wieners. I'm over here now. And we got all those people, and it's going to be extreme Trump this year. Tomorrow.
Oh, I like it. I like it. Defender of the Republic.
Yeah.
Throwing it
Listen,
over to
I
you.
think the ladies can understand when I say I think way too much. So I've considered every possible scenario, and I'm looking at it as the momentum is huge. I've never seen this type of momentum before. However, putting myself in their shoes, they're also seeing this momentum, and they're now probably in a panic saying, what do we do? Because everything we try doesn't work. We've got to go big, right? So that's my concern. I'm remaining positive. I'm a woman of God. I've been trying to post, let's pray. Let's all pray as much as possible, because at the end of the day, it's going to take God's intervention in order to undo anything they're trying to do. And David, this video you posted before, it really makes me think about every experience I've had with someone who sees me in a MAGA hat, right? They don't actually come up to me and say something, but they'll give me this dirty, disgusting look where it's like, that is demonic. Like, you hate me and you don't even know me. You know, so you think about that, and this is truly a spiritual battle. And you've got to believe that if this is a spiritual battle, God wins this one. I'm sorry, but he's going to win this one. So it's going to take all of God's army and warriors to make sure that the outcome is the way it's supposed to be. So I'm remaining positive, despite the fact that I know that this is going to be their last push.
Yeah, excellent takes. Now, three very smart women giving very intelligent takes. What does Mark Cuban have to say about this?
He's gone.
Right?
He got fired.
We put him to sleep.
I know. I love it.
I mean, now I have a video to play, and that was my segue. Can you believe how hard? I mean, Joy is weird, right? Remember the campaign started with Joy and Tim Walz, the high kicks, and they were just so positive and joyful. And Joy is awfully unusually negative and mean, right? Between Mark Cuban, transitioning to what's that? Rachel Maddow, for his Rachel Maddow transformation, and just the hate. Then you roll out people like our former uniting president, Barack Obama, and he says things like this.
Maybe you're Muslim American or Jewish American, and you are heartbroken and furious about the ongoing bloodshed in the Middle East and worried about the rise of anti-Semitism. Why would you place your faith in somebody who instituted a so-called Muslim ban, who sat down for pleasantries with Holocaust deniers, who said that there were very fine people on both sides of a white supremacist rally?
I hate him.
Aren't people sick of this? Aren't people sick of this?
I think Obama looks sick. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, he does.
He's had too many vaccines,
He's
too many
stressed
boosters.
out.
Listen, I think that you can only be possessed by demons for so long before it starts to eat you from the inside out. So we're probably starting to see the residual effect of being satanic.
These are facts. Well, you know,
throwing it all out there. Like,
I
be
can't.
mad at this, be mad at that. They're just throwing it all out.
Yeah.
And you notice it's never about policy. They never speak about policy. It's always their entire platform is abortion and hate Trump. That's it.
You know what really pisses me off in our movement specifically, and this is what the Democrats use against us. It is actually okay for us to believe different things than each other, right?
Yes.
You guys, I'm crazy. I actually think the earth is flat now. And there are conservatives that are like, you're crazy. And I'm like, it is. It just is. I'm sorry. But guess what? They're not unfollowing me. And that's okay. It's like, I believe one thing and you don't have to believe it. That's just what I choose to believe because I've done whatever research and here's what I believe. Listen, now if Trump like takes a picture with me, the Democrats are going to go, Trump meets with flat earthers. I'm like, that doesn't mean that he thinks the earth is flat because he took a picture with me. Like, that's so crazy. Jimmy Levy thinks the earth is flat. Well, I'm surprised that they haven't put a picture up of Trump going, you know, he had dinner with flat earthers. So Trump is a globe denier. It's like, we can't have we actually are the party where we can agree to disagree without kicking each other out of the party. But because we do that, if we take pictures together, we suddenly become the exact belief system of the person in the picture. They can't, they don't know what to do with that. The fact that we can choose to believe opposite things without name calling us.
Well, that's how you know that it's some kind of like mind virus, right? Like it's almost like its own religion, the left, where they love bomb you, and then if you do not acquiesce to what they think or how they behave, you are completely kicked out of the cult. That's really what it is.
Yeah, abuse. It's an abusive relationship. And that abuse is directed at us, but it's directed at each other too. Like if you are trans and you join the Democratic Party, that's fine. However, when those medicines start to kill you and you decide to detransition, you are cut out.
But they're conditioned to put people in boxes. The prejudice is on their side. So the projection they almost break when they can't put something into a box. It's very crazy to see, but it's the reality.
And I think it's interesting because, you know, anyone that's been in an abusive relationship can see like what actual gaslighting is.
Yes.
And what it is that they do to us is tell us that we are a certain way. And really that is exactly the way that they are. They are not inclusive. They are not, you know, the term liberal actually means to be accepting of opposing beliefs without violence or hatred. And I'm like, so I'm actually liberal? What are you guys saying? Because you are, if that's what that actually means, you are not liberal. The conservatives are liberal.
You're just crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, you guys are all right. Girls are all
What
right.
We're women,
Use guys.
David, of course
It's
we
a
are.
use guys.
Right?
I'm not, use guys.
Use guys.
Use guys. Are, you're completely
Where are you
right.
from? Union
What's that?
City?
Guys.
Use guys. Use guys. Listen, you all, y'all are right because all the efforts into division, and it's the only way they know how to survive. I mean, that's what it is. It's either agree with what we're saying or suffer our wrath. People are sick of it. I believe the reason why Donald Trump is doing so well, the reason why I think he's going to win by 11 p.m. tomorrow in a landslide victory once the East Coast states close, the reason why I believe this is because America is rejecting the angry, hateful message. It might have worked. I was thinking about this earlier. I'm going to be tangential here for a minute. But, you know, you have to think what motivates people and why you need to motivate.
Are you doing the weave, David? Are you doing the weave?
The weave? What's the weave? No, this
Someone
is all
talked
this is
about
all
the
me.
weave.
This is all my hair. All my hair. So
That's not what I meant. Oh my
this is all
God.
me. So
Never mind. I'll explain later.
all right.
Go.
So now you got me all ADD'd out.
What was that name?
Hold on, let me take some Ritalin. All right. So here's the deal. You have to think about what motivates people and why you want to motivate somebody to do something. I really think we're at a point in our politics, which is why everybody hates politics, except for us. We love it because we're weird. I think we got to a point where it's fatigue. And who's getting blamed for that fatigue is who inevitably ends up winning elections, is what I'm noticing. Because for the longest time, politicians needed to motivate people to vote because that was always the issue, right? Suppressing certain turnout and encouraging other turnout. Get your base to turn out. We don't want these people to show up because we can't control or predict how they're going to vote. So elections in our history has always been about getting certain people to show up and keeping other people from showing up. And then they just decided with the 24-hour news cycle and the corrupt corporate media that, hey, we have a much powerful way of convincing the people we want to show up and keeping the people we don't want to show up from showing up. And that's hate. And that's fear. And they've used hate and fear as political weapons. The left and the right both do it. I'm not putting Republicans, taking them off the hook either.
Right.
Both have done it. But the left has done it so effectively. And between COVID and between January 6th and between everything we've seen from Barack Obama to Hillary Clinton to Kamala Harris, they have perfected hate and fear.
Now, David, when you say hate, you mean joy, right?
Yeah, joy. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean joy. Yeah, joy and fear, of course.
Gotta keep up.
Yeah. Well, and you're about to get on the receiving end of peaceful protests when you get hit in the face with a sign that says "Stop Hate." So yes, I agree with you completely. But I think we've hit that point. In 2020, the media did such a good job of convincing people that Trump was the reason why the country was divided. And this is the big lie that we all fell for. And there's another big lie I'm going to play for you here in a second. But the big lie we all fell for, that Trump was a divisive one. The big lie now, when I say we all, I didn't fall for it. Y'all didn't fall for it. The big lie people fell for was that Trump was the one that was dividing the people. Trump's nasty comments and his mean tweets, that was the reason for our division. Trump had nothing to do with that. He tried to get people together from day one. Remember the Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, let's do infrastructure. What can we agree on deal? It was oppose, oppose, oppose. And then the media and their friends on the left decided to mount this campaign of never Trump. And then you have your squishy Republicans who were all too eger to jump on the campaign because they hated the fact that they weren't the one getting the cabinet positions. And so we ended up in this climate where everybody just, how many times, I've even caught myself having the conversation, not just calling illegals migrants, which just shows you how effective they are, by the way.
Yeah.
But how many people have been caught in the conversation? First qualifying, I know Trump was a divisive figure. I know people don't like Trump because I've done it before by accident. Just because you end up in a conversation where people are convincing you that Trump's, yeah, I know he's divisive, but then I thought of it. Trump's not divisive. It's the damn media that's divisive, and it's the left that's divisive. And I think the people are sick and tired of it. And I think that's what this election's about. Because when you have messages like this is RFK. I want to show you. I'm going to ask you, ladies, what do you think I should do? I hate saying ladies. I sound so creepy. Ladies, what would you rather have?
Use guys. I like use guys.
I'm going to use guys.
Guys.
Use guys. What would you rather have? Would you rather have, and even though it's kind of off topic, would you rather have Barack Obama, but saying the white supremacists were fine people with the actual clip of what Trump really said? I have that. Or should we pivot right to RFK Jr. and the most unification message ever? Where should we go? Ladies' choice. Oh, God. Please tell me women can't make a decision.
It's like asking me what I wanted to eat for dinner tonight.
I say the RFK one.
Yeah, me too.
All right, it's
that
Ally's
was a
birthday.
good one.
All right,
win.
it's Ally's
It's
birthday.
Ally's birthday. She gets like literally. Why am I on a panel when it's her birthday? I get no say in anything.
I love you,
How funny was
Lindsay.
that? I just asked y'all for directions, and you're like, go ask somebody. All right. This is the opposite of Barack Obama's hateful message. I lied. That was the hateful message.
that was Barack Obama.
Yeah. Well, so look, I'm looking at these tiny little tiny little clips, the thumbnails. Here's the actual anti-hate RFK's statement.
Is it though?
Yeah.
A lot of people are asking me if they live in a red state or a blue state, should they still be voting for me? What about swing states? The answer is easy, no. No matter what state you live in, you should be voting for Donald Trump. And let me tell you why. That's the only way that we can get me and everything I stand for into Washington, D.C. and fulfill the mission that motivated my campaign. Right now, free speech is under withering and relentless attack in America and across the globe. But at least we still have enough of it here that you can watch this video. We can still run an opposition political campaign. Well, in a lot of countries, you can't do that anymore because the state now controls the media. The state censors the internet. Brazil just banned Twitter because Elon Musk refused to censor user speech. Kamala Harris says that Musk better behave himself or he will, quote, lose his
privileges and it should be taken down. They are directly speaking to millions and millions of people without any level of oversight or regulation. And that has to stop.
She thinks, and the Democratic establishment thinks, that free speech is a privilege. Well, you know and I know that it's a right. And if Kamala Harris is elected, the powers behind her will quash that right. They're already halfway there. It will be too late by 2028. Once we're in the grips of totalitarianism, we're not going to be able to vote our way out of it. This is our last chance to stop them. After long conversations with President Trump and his team and his family, I know that he is fully convinced of this priority. He sees the censorship machine for what it is. Remember, he was kicked off Twitter back in 2021, and he has experienced directly how government agencies are being weaponized to destroy the government's political opponents. He's going to be relying on me to help clean up that corruption, and that's why I'm relying on my supporters like you to help him return to the White House. As you know, this could be a very close election. A disputed election result would be a disaster for our divided nation. President Trump needs to win in a landslide, both in the Electoral College and in the popular vote. He can't do that unless my supporters join him. So look at the big picture. We have to unify. We have to overthrow the entrenched elites who are now ruining our country. So let's get Donald Trump elected on November 5th so that we can restore our Constitution, so that we can revive the middle class, so that we can rescue our democracy, end censorship and surveillance, unravel the war machine, protect children's health, and make America healthy again.
Love that.
So good.
There was nobody was called a Nazi, right? No. Nobody was called white supremacist. There wasn't anything about dividing us on any ideological grounds. It was a Democrat who became an independent, ran for president, and then decided to support Donald Trump. What do you think a more effective message is? What we heard from Barack Obama about Muslim ban, all lies, by the way, Muslim bans and all these other things, or what you heard from RFK saying, watch out, there's censorship, and here are all of our policy priorities that I think, I mean, what message appeals more to you? I mean, you guys are MAGA, but if you weren't MAGA, I mean, what policies appeal more to you?
Aly, you want to go since it's your birthday?
Oh, no, you go ahead, babe.
Well, I just want to say that anyone with critical thinking can obviously like look past the message and ask themselves, what is the context of the message? What is the purpose of the message? What would be the motivation of that message? So for Barack Obama, he says it's about unity, but then when you go and you paint your political opponent or whoever's political opponent is at the time as a Nazi, as a Hitler, that is not unification. You don't have to like Donald Trump to say, listen, he could have had the same message. I don't agree with everything. Here's what's at stake if you vote for him, but this is what we need. Meanwhile, RFK's message, even though it does endorse Donald J. Trump, we cannot forget that his supporters, that's who he's talking to, are mostly Democrats and independents. So he's asking them, put aside what you dislike and think about the good of the nation and the unification of the nation. And the basis of his message is not Kamala's a Nazi and Kamala's a this and Kamala's a communist and a socialist. He could have said any of those things. Those things are true. He didn't, because the resonating motivation of the message is unification.
Yeah. And he's undoing all of the programming that the media has done to these people. And it's incredible to see. But while I'm rambling, what I was going to say, what's interesting about this, though, is this narrative that they used with Joe Biden. I remember this when the left said, wow, Joe Biden did what was right for the country and stepped aside so that Kamala could step in.
Right.
That ridiculous narrative is actually what RFK did.
Yes.
And that's why it's funny to see that, you know, and what he's doing is brilliant. The way he speaks about it in a way that can relate to so many people. People follow him despite his voice, right? Like that's one of the things people used to say, like, oh, I can't listen to him because the voice, you know. But then when you actually hear him speak, you're like, wow, that really resonates with me. And so people are more open to hearing what he has to say because everything he says is brilliant. And so it's important to have his following. I can't tell you how many times I've gone out and people have said, oh my gosh, I was an RFK person and I'm voting for Trump and I'm so excited to do it. So I think it's an incredible message.
I've been following RFK Jr. for a really long time. My start in politics was through the medical freedom movement here in Florida, because we saw what was going on in California. And there was this big giant rally that was happening out there in 2018, I believe it was. They were trying to strip away religious exemptions from vaccinations. And he was one of the speakers. So were several other doctors that have run several different hospitals. They've run wings in hospitals, pediatric wings in hospitals, had their own clinics, and saw what was going on with the injections in children. And I remember listening to him and listening to all of them and going, my brain just exploded. I was like, I can't understand how I didn't understand any of this. And what's really interesting is I was not a Trump supporter in 2016. I became a Trump supporter in 2020. My first MAGA rally, Junior was the headline, and completely just blew me away. And I was like, okay. And now with RFK Jr. joining the Trump team, the MAGA team, the Make America Great Again team, the Make America Healthy Again team, I could not be more ecstatic that he is a part of our team. It really does show unity, right? It's bringing in things into the fold, because I remember us in 2020 and in 2022, we were like trying to figure out who was going to be in cabinets, who would be the perfect administration for everybody and all of their issues, whether it's the medical freedom issue, the 2A issue, the, free speech issues. It's all constitutional, really is what it is. It's individual sovereignty and national sovereignty and security. And so when we were thinking about that, almost everybody I knew said that they would love to have RFK Jr. on the administration in some form or fashion, because he has been actually killing it with, metaphorically, don't shut us down, through legislation with ICANN and Del Bigtree, the I Consent Action Network or whatever that is, where they're going after the FDA and the CDC and the NIH and suing them for the things that they have done to the American people, especially to children, especially when it comes to their food and the injections. It's been incredible. So to have him on the team is just, I could not be more happy.
Well,
It's a winning team.
I like how humble he presents it too. Like, it's not like, well, this sucks. I don't think I could have won, so I'm just going to endorse Trump.
Right.
It's almost like he's telling his supporters, a vote for Trump is a vote for me. I'm not like, I'm not going to win, so this sucks. I'm going to jump on his team. He's like saying, we have partnered up, and if you're supporting what I stand for, Trump supports what I stand for. It's a vote for me, essentially, which is awesome.
I also think it points to a bigger picture of who Trump is as a businessman. So Trump is a leader, and leaders, what do leaders do? They don't do everything themselves. They find people that have a lane, that are good in their space, and they put them to work. This is what you do. This is what you've done. This is what you've been successful at doing here. How about you do it at this scale?
Yep.
Go have at
Take it and go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And that shows that Trump is the leader that we need for this country. And I'm glad that so many people are seeing it.
And what else does that tell you about Trump? Since the people that he picked, Elon, Tulsi, and RFK, they're not political, like lifelong political. Yeah. And they're Democrats. Like, he chose people that he clearly for the majority of his life has disagreed with their policies, and he brought them onto his team. He said, we are unified. We're setting aside our differences in all of these other areas to come together for this one specific area.
For the American
is
people.
literally acting on unification.
You could see the left panicking about this when they put out this Avengers video with, you can either have, think about it, you can either have fake actor Avengers that are on television, or you can have the real Avengers who are all experts in their field. Which one do you prefer? Think about that. You know,
my God.
And that's exactly what it is. And you said it, Lindsay, you said policy. The left doesn't have any policies. Now, the one policy I do think, even though I think it's a horrific policy that I don't agree with, the policy they've been winning on is the abortion policy. They've been winning on it not because their policies on abortion are better than ours. They've been winning on it because their messaging is better.
Right.
You saw this really highlighted in both the debate with Trump and Kamala and in the J.D. Vance Walz debate. You saw our side do a better job articulating. I think Vance did a fantastic job articulating the Republican position and giving it to the states to decide and not making it a federal issue, and also highlighting the radical nature of those blue states that have the most liberal abortion policies when they'll allow a live born child to be aborted, essentially. Republicans did a horrible job in the red wave era. The red wave that wasn't. The Republicans did a horrible job with messaging on that. We lost that debate because Democrats convinced people that Republicans wanted a national ban on abortion. And then we had some stupid Republicans who said, yeah, I want a national ban. And then, of course, the media ran with them. And most people were convinced that if Republicans won, there'd be a national ban on abortion, which was the opposite of what the Dobbs decision said. But regardless of that one policy, the Republicans, and like I said, I do think Republicans win on abortion policy because most states allow abortion up to a certain extent, regardless of how you feel about abortion. That's the mainstream view on abortion, as horrific as the practice is.
What's happening in Florida right now?
Right.
Yeah. Vote about whether or not they can abort a child at 9 months.
The constitutional right to do it, but it's going to fail.
The amendment is ridiculous.
It's going to fail.
It's so vague, and it completely takes, all it's doing is really enabling human trafficking. That's really what it's doing. It's enabling sex slavery.
And I hope it's teaching people to look into things further, not just look at headlines of what they're voting for.
Katie, it's 3 sentences. 3 sentences.
I got to tell you, there's so many people out there that won't read all 3.
No, but that's what people don't read. But that's the thing, though, when it comes to policy, and if you look at that RFK video, he mentions policies where those policies would be applied to the Trump administration. Trump wins on policy, and I think the Trump campaign has done a much better job articulating his vision for America, what he would do for America, than the left. The left has been hate. The right has been policy. And I think inevitably that's going to be the thing on Election Day that I think makes the big difference, because when you go to the hate, that these people are Nazis, these people are trash, these people suck, we hate these people, bad, 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 joy, joy, joy. I think that compared to what you just heard RFK say, I think that is going to be the difference maker. I think people are sick of being divided, and that's where I think we're going. Are you raising your hand?
I am. I have something important to say. Well, it's funny because us three girls really are talking, and you piped in. I'm like, oh, that's right, David is here. And,
I don't need to be. Look, y'all take it away. It'd be like turning on full self-driving on my Tesla. I'm just gonna hit the button and I'm gonna let you all go, and I'll just intervene when you're about to drive me into a cone. How about that?
In true fashion, I have something a little controversial, and it of course does not apply to all Americans clearly, but it's really sad to me because I think that we're playing political games with very, very dumb people. Like, America is dumber. If we can agree that a bill can be 3 sentences and people won't even read it, we've got Kamala Harris coming out and cackling, and like, it's really funny, right? But it's not cackling about stuff. That's her platform. Like, imagine 20 years ago, her coming out onto a stage with her demeanor as it is, and people saying that's an intelligent person, she can run a country. It's no. And Tim Walz is coming out and he's cracking up and he's laughing. Oh, thank you. Like he's a rock star. I'm like, you're a vice presidential candidate. You're acting like a 12-year-old at a theater that's getting the standing ovation.
Right.
And Trump is smart, and he surrounds himself with beautiful, intelligent women, and his policies are smart, and Tulsi Gabbard is composed and smart, and so is Elon Musk, and so these people that were petitioning for their vote, they're so dumb that they don't even realize you're not voting for a good candidate. You're just voting for whoever's playing you like a violin. You're trying to Taylor Swift the president. You're trying to, like, who's the coolest, who's the funniest, who's the most popular, what are all the cool kids doing, not who is the best candidate for running the country.
Yep.
You look at this phenomenon, you look at both sides of this, right? So it's conditioning. Trump supporters can sit through 2 hours of Trump speaking and listen to him from start to finish. When you look at the other side, they need shiny objects and flashy things. So that's why they're parading out Beyonce and Cardi B, because they're the TikTok generation. And it's sad, but I've witnessed this. I've actually gone to people on the left and said, here, watch this while I hold the phone. And it's a 1-minute video and I've lost them after 30 seconds. And that's the problem. They know that this is their base. Those are the people that they're marketing this toward, people who don't have the attention span. And those are the people that hurt the rest of us. But they know that that's their base.
Right.
Well, and they're working really hard, and Aly knows all about this. They're working really hard to stupefy America's youth, and so they don't have the ability to think critically by the time it's turn to vote. And this is really where we're going to, and that's what I believe the purpose of the masks and COVID was, to show conformity. I believe they want people to think the same way. They want them to be ridiculed into thinking the same way, and they also want to make sure you're dumb enough that you don't have the ability to think. It's almost like idiocracy.
Nope,
I see you wanting to jump at the bit, Aly. Go ahead.
No, that was the test run. You're absolutely right. COVID was the beginning of it all.
Yep.
It was the beginning of it all, because that's exactly the moment you found out. As soon as government went full-blown tyranny, and most people allowed it to happen, because you don't get tyranny without the people's consent. We give our consent to be governed. And when we gave our consent to be governed by tyrants, we lost the battle. And then when we decided to wake up and say, wait a minute, this is not okay. No, you're not going to mask my child. No, you're not going to separate my child. No, my child is not going to sit alone while they're eating. And no, they're not going to take all these, vaccines that don't make any sense. It showed it. You drew the line between those dissenters and the ones that were going to comply.
That's right.
Yep. And they successfully convinced half the population, or more than half, to shame the half that would not comply. And that's a huge, huge part of it. Is the government didn't just shame us or come after us. They encouraged our own neighbors to shame us. And so many people cannot withstand the kind of shame and disrespect and hate that was put on us for standing up.
Yep.
And so I want to applaud anyone listening right now that has made it through this massive, massive test and come out going, you can shame me, you can threaten me, you can threaten to take my kids, throw me in jail, but I know what's right and I'm going to stand on that. That takes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I have to applaud Trump supporters because a lot of what we do is checking ourselves. And I think that that is why we are in the position where we can look at something and say, maybe I'm doing this wrong and pivot, right? Because a lot of what we see in terms of taking our freedoms away comes from convenience. So they'll throw things at us that are like, oh, wow, that's convenient. Maybe I should do that. And then you're like, wait a minute, this is too convenient. I'm giving something up.
That's like
right?
in a mousetrap. Hold on.
Yeah, but we're able to stop and say, wait, am I doing the right thing? Am I wrong? We're okay with saying I could be wrong. What angers them is if you ever make them look at themselves in a mirror and say, wait, I might be wrong about this. They don't do that.
So I see backstage, I think, you know, Blake Reynolds from Raising Reynolds. I think he saw that he thought that I needed some assistance. He's like, wait a minute, Dave's outnumbered. I'm going to throw him up on the stage. Now, we're getting ready to wrap here. But Blake, you've been paying attention. You got your MAGA hat on. Now I feel... what's going on over there? Come on now.
Dude, I don't know. I feel like half my head's cut off. Do I need to scoot back?
No, you're good. By the time you fix it,
Everybody's got their MAGA hats on.
Oh, come
Except
on.
for Dave.
It won't work with your outfit.
I can't
Look, I saw you were outnumbered. I was like, I need to get on here. He can't be the only dude with all these females. That's not fair for them or you. So
You're only allowed if you're going to take a shot with me, Blake. Only allowed.
So you're not identifying as a female for this?
I wasn't even ready. I just got back from church too.
Oh, never mind.
See?
See? You just made wine. It's all right.
All right.
I didn't even, I was like, I only have 5 minutes. I definitely don't have time to go pour nothing. But I was like, I need to run in here and jump on this thing and kind of save face. Apologize for not being able to be here sooner.
We missed you.
What all did you talk about?
You want to recap? You want to recap?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, before we wrap, because I'm going to end the show with Trump's closing argument ad, which I think, by the way, is one of the best political ads I've ever seen.
So
I was
good.
going to end it with the YMCA dancing video. If you guys haven't seen that, that's fantastic. I'll post it up on my social media later with all these different people dancing the YMCA, which I'm going to be doing all night tomorrow. Oh, by the way, yeah, we're going to be, who's going down to Palm Beach tomorrow? I know Ally's going down. I'm going down. Lindsay, Defender, you guys going to be down in Palm Beach?
I'm going to be in Mexico, which is extra scary.
What?
Oh, man. I'm working the polls as a poll challenger all day tomorrow. So,
Okay.
All right. Well,
Okay.
I'll be hanging out with the girl who wants to take shots. So it'll be a good time. Blake, before I wrap, and I'm like I said, I'm going to wrap with the Trump ad because it's a great closing argument that all our viewers need to see. Before I go to you, well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I want to get your take on what you think is going to happen tomorrow, and then I'm going to give closing remarks to my ladies up top, and then I'm going to play this Trump video. So, Blake, in 30 seconds, what's going to happen tomorrow?
I think, honestly, I do believe that we are going to keep the House. I believe that we're going to win the Senate. And I believe that Trump is going to win. He is ahead right now in the polling in every battleground state except Minnesota. So I'm talking +5, +3, +2, +1.5, +1. So he's looking good all the way down. I do believe that it will be a red wave, not like last time. I truly think that we're going to win so big, it's impossible for them to steal. Now, what I'm afraid about, what I'm concerned about is that they're not going to go quietly. I believe that after Donald Trump wins tomorrow, it will be the ugliest next few months that you've seen in your entire life. And I was telling people, I'm not like a fearmonger type person, but I did say this, be vigilant, be ready, be on guard, stock up some things, stock up on some things. I'll just say it like that. Stock up on some things because I do think that we're going to hit a time in our country's life where it is a for real now or never moment, and I think that it's a now or never moment for both sides. I believe they feel just as passionately as we do on this side. You see it. They are just as equally passionate on that side as we are on this side. I feel like every American feels like it's a now or never moment. Now, could we unify? I'm not 100% sure. I do think after tomorrow we'll find out. I think it's going to get ugly for the next few months. And I will say this right here, because there's going to be somebody that asked. Somebody asked earlier, they're like, Blake, when do you know when it gets bad? Like, at what point do you know when it gets bad? I say, when you lose communication, it's bad. And so I just tell people, just be ready, just be on the lookout, because it will be the ugliest thing that you've ever seen. They're not going to go quietly. They do not want Donald Trump to step in the White House ever again. They've already tried to assassinate him twice. It's not going to be any different the day that he wins. Tomorrow is not going to change anything. January 6th, January 20th, that'll make all the difference in the world. But tomorrow is definitely the start, but it gets ugly.
That was way longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah, how much toilet paper?
Why wasn't y'all giving me a 5-second countdown? Like, y'all talked for an hour already.
Well,
you are a
I
girl.
thought you know how to count. But here's the deal. How much toilet paper am I going to need for this?
Oh, Lord.
Shit. Oh, my gosh.
All right. Wait, hold on. I can do this. Lindsay, your closing remarks. And hold on, I'm going to go grab my MAGA hat while you guys are doing this.
Okay. Aly, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Don't be scared of everything Blake says. Okay. But if you're going to stock up on stuff, make sure you go get whatever it is you want for your birthday. So tequila, vodka, all that good stuff.
Some tourniquets. It'll be all right. We'll figure it out.
Trump 2024.
Did I miss it? Are you good?
I got it.
All right. Don't forget to check out your book. I have it on my shelf behind me. Do you see
saw
it?
that, David.
I have it too.
There's me right next to Carrie Lake and underneath Tucker.
That's it. Go check it out. It's right here, guys.
So good.
Targeted. Go check it out.
My name's in that book. My name is in that book.
Oh, is it? Why do you got to take credit for everything? You come on the show late. You know, you're trying to like, you're trying to mansplain these women. You know.
But regardless, my name is in that book. So I'm just saying.
Hey, that's what I'm going to be saying to Jesus when he comes back.
All right.
My name is in that book. I guarantee you. If it's in Patriot Barbie's book, it's got to be in that book because I'm the one that gave her the scripture.
Defender.
Okay, let the other girls have their final words.
Defender.
Yeah, so I will say a lot of what Blake is saying, I can absolutely see coming to fruition, but I will remind you, we haven't won this yet. There are a lot of people out there who will make excuses about going to vote tomorrow. So text people in your phone, call everyone you know, remind them if they have not voted yet that they have to get out and vote. And when it comes to this civil war narrative, let the left do that because they're the ones that have been pushing this civil war narrative. If we get there, we get there. Continue to be positive. Let them be negative. But we've got to win this first tomorrow.
Aly, birthday girl, last word is going to you.
1,000%. Prepare, pray, and go bank your vote. It has to be bigger than ever before. So make sure you go bank your vote and make sure you pray. And that's it. Trump 2024, baby. Let's go.
Tomorrow's a big day, guys. It's been a long road. Tomorrow's the day. Hopefully, tomorrow's the day. Aly, I look forward to seeing you over at the convention center for our big celebration of making America great again and saving America once and for all. Ladies, thank you so much for being here on the show. Don't forget to check everybody out. Subscribe, buy, whatever they do, go do it all. And go check out WeTheStudios.com. You'll see Raising Reynolds on. You'll see my show. My show's free. I'm the freebie for some reason. You got to pay for Blake's. But go check it out. And I'm like the drugs they give you for free. And then when you get hooked on it, he's the, I don't know, are you the good stuff or the stuff with all the stuff in it?
He's the gateway.
Depends on how far down you go, you know?
All right.
Oh, my.
All right. Well, here's Trump's closing argument, guys. Go vote. Thank you, everybody. Let's make America great again. Happy birthday, Aly. Good night,
Happy
everybody.
birthday.
Thank you.
What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? Look at the opportunities before us.
This election really isn't about the left versus the right. It's about we the people choosing our government and the choice between freedom versus tyranny.
Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other.
What is going on here is deeper than politics. It is deeply spiritual. We are being called to rise above the hatred and the fear and the evil.
We need to remember above and beyond that we must love our neighbors, that we must treat other people as we hope to be treated.
You want to be a rebel? You want to be a hippie? You want to stick it to the man? Show up on your college campus and try calling yourself a conservative.
America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing!
Don't you want healthy children? Don't you want a president that's going to make America healthy again? The sweet emotion raining all over me.
I come to you today as a former Democrat. I will be a first-time Trump voter tonight.
The people dreamed this country, and it's the people who are making